System engaged. Hello? Oh, wow. Okay. Howdy, everybody. How's it going? Oh, of course, my hair. Hello, welcome to this camera's on that's in the right spot, never mind. Anyways, so I loaded up my stream application today, and, everything was broken. All of everything was, like, crazy huge. So I had to spend like the last 25 minutes resizing everything. And yeah, also hopefully I fiddled with my microphone a little bit, so I don't know if it's too loud or not. I changed some compression stuff, and what else did I do? I don't remember. Okay, everything seems good to you. Cool. So, cool news. I'm sorry it took off Friday. I was dead to the world. Just unfortunate kind of life catching up or something like that, but just in general. It was not. I fell asleep at 9 o'clock my time and didn't wake up till 9 o'clock the next day. So, passed out for 12 solid hours. And it was nice. Definitely nice. That's for sure. And while I was doing that, Carmichael just randomly decided to drop one of my most requested features for GDX, and now we have a new version. So, if you will avert your eyes to this beautiful thing right here, it says export U with a capital U and a lowercase v map. And you press it, it gives you a beautiful little thing that gives you a UV map here. And then, it still has the same. It did it again, anyways. And then you move over to your cool texturing spot right here, right? And now you have an image with all your UVs on it. And then you copy that image and you place it as a new layer. And now you have all the UVs on your texture. So I know where everything is without having to do all the math and random guesswork for that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. Also, it also makes really cool maps. If you ever wanted to do something in a really weird, like, game board style. Obviously the palette and everything's weird, but it's actually kind of neat. Just actually split it up and see everything, so. But yeah. And again, like I said, you can do the thing where you switch back and forth, so. All I have to do now is make sure I turn that layer off when I save. So it'll add a little extra step if I'm working with it. But mostly it's just for setup. So you do this, you mark out your spots, and then you turn it off. And then you go from there. The biggest thing I do notice when I'm going through, just taking the tiny peek I have at it, in Aspirite at least, it does eat in to 1 pixel. Well, obviously you can't... Excuse me, sorry. Obviously you can't have it do like in between pixels or anything like that, because that doesn't exist. That data doesn't exist in most places. So when you are making your own or anything like that, you do basically have to paint over the UV portion itself in order to get that. And then also kind of reference it in GDX itself, so you know, oh look, it's actually inside on a portion of this one and outside on a portion of the other, and that kind of thing. So it still isn't like this is the exact thing, because it can't be, that I know of. especially when working with pixels. But it's gonna say, I don't know if you looked or went back and watched or have been watching anything for the Chocobo Forest or anything like that, but a good hour and a half of some of those things, at least an hour for each one, was finding out where on the UV map my stuff was. And it adds up over time. So here, if you know immediately where everything is, it cuts down hours off of texturing time. So it's just yet another example of how quickly or how much faster we're going to be able to get with this tool. So really cool. Again, it's kind of untested. It came out just this weekend. So we are starting a new map, so I don't really have any backups or anything, but I backed up everything else before I opened any of them. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Literal weeks in hours, like hours worth of time in weeks. Exactly, yes, to getting the mesh done in record time, because I think yes, definitely. I think when I was doing like the alternate map pack in the original Ganesha, it was most maps took me 3 hours just to do the mesh. If I was changing that. Oh, I haven't saved this one without the thing. So, like that, and that was literally just rearranging the mesh itself. It took me 3 hours to do that. Where now you can get all that done and everything else in that amount of time. The lighting takes seconds, but yeah, exactly. Let me see if I can find it. There it is. Okay. I need to scroll back up because I am a bad friend and I haven't read something that I should have read before I started stream. Okay. So, automatically. So, we are doing a map for Jumza today. I haven't even updated my Nightbot command, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Give me 1 second. Current map is Jumza's water map. Submit. And then Q is Jumza's water map, floating continent, trying. Falgabra? How the hell do you say that? Do I still have that open somewhere? I'm terrible at this, guys. I'm sorry. Nice and tiny. Falgabard. That's how you pronounce it. Where is that? Falgabard. There we go. There. Jumza's water map. Perfect. And just map, right? That's the other one. Okay, cool. Those have been updated. Again, sorry, doing this all now because I died last week, so. And yeah, I also got a little bit of time over the weekend because my kid decided to, for the first time ever, like just hang out by herself and play Legos and other stuff without, hey, can you come play with me kind of thing. So I got like a solid 3 hours of do my own kind of time, which is weird. And I have been using that time on weekends to plan out the pieces for Unexplored. And so now, I think at last count, hold on, I told Kazan it today. At last count...
Hey, thanks for listening to Rhythm and Pixels Radio.
You're welcome. Is that 2? Definitely. You're welcome. Why do I not? Why can't I read today? Hold on. Don't worry, guys. Okay, there it is. I have events planned, some kind of rough idea, for 11 of the 16 of the wonders. So yeah, that's our count total. We have 5 maps in some way, shape, or form being done, and 11 of them planned out. So obviously our map skills are taking a little bit of time, but yeah. So that's up to date on everything else, and then I need to go back to where I was on Jumps' thing. Okay. Do you want me to show most of it? Like, the reference and everything that you have, Jumza? Or does it matter to you? Yeah, sure, okay. So, do I have a display capture? No, that's not it. Okay, cool. Just do window capture. Internet. Okay. It's definitely not that one. Sure. That's fine. Okay, so the reference we were provided was from Genshin Impact. And so, if you look on the bottom here, yeah. So the arena itself is split into 9 total platforms. I'm gonna get into like theater mode, so it kind of. So that's kind of going to be the basis of everything. And then I believe as you proceed, that's just a concept for like the look of it. Super fun action game. Go. Oh, I really need to see all my tabs. There. Let's get more of the video in there. Is it just this portion? Does it actually takes a little while? Okay. Hold on. Oh, super moves. Okay. So now we'll make it crazy fast speed. Okay, so we'll rewind that a little bit. But if you notice, as we're going through that right there, so the platforms lowered afterwards. Like while you're going to the battle, I clicked on them. I've split stuff into the actual browser. And so portions of the arena shrink as you continue to move on and through. So that's our concept for what we're going to be doing here. Hey, look, I'm back. I want to do that. Okay, So, I guess that's a little concept-wise. And the other notes here were, can have it surrounded by mountains, but definitely not the intention. Basically, a large pool of water with those platforms. And you said you want to do it just level with the water line. Sorry, I'm really gassy for some reason. Having trouble speaking. And then what we're going to do to hide the adjustments is some form of like big map area effect, such like Leviathan or the Titan kind of stuff, where it kind of hides the map. And then we're going to do mesh animations and some trickery and be able to lower and raise those platforms. So the other thing, the stuff is up there. That was my other thing too. So I'm gonna do like a preliminary kind of concept that I think would work better for Final Fantasy Tactics than the kind of arena flat thing for the action game. And we'll see if we can kind of come up with something that we like the best. So, I'm going to go ahead and start our timer, and we can get off to the races. So, right away, I'm gonna blow away everything except for this thing. And thinking it was raised significantly, there would be a landing platform that people could get dumped into the water, have to climb onto, then back the staircase. But I know flat would be easier for you. That was actually my concept as well. Why am I holding Alt to move around? Okay, so here's our original terrain, and again, we need. So we're gonna need at least one more in the X. That's for sure, because we need at least a platform, and then we're also gonna need probably at least one square surrounding them, just to have at least some kind of interesting look, right? So we're gonna need at least two more in the X, and then let's just say we have this. And okay, we'll start from here. 3. That's one tile. That's the second tile. So you're doing a 2-layer map where chunks of the top layer occasionally vanish, dumping units in the water below. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Okay. And then that's the other one. So we can cut off, it looks like 3 in the Z. So we're going to go to here, and we're going to go resize. And so we need... Hey, Kazan, how you doing? So 10, and... Why am I not understanding my... Also 10? Does that not work? One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it doesn't. It's 11th. There we go. So it's gonna get, yes, very weird. And it's mostly gonna depend on if the idea that I have is possible. And so we're gonna be doing most of the actual test itself tonight too, because the setup, geometry-wise, it's pretty basic, and the setup-wise, it'll be super quick. So not really having anything you have to worry about on that, which is pretty great. So we're gonna be fancy and save ourselves some time for having to flatten everything out. Man, I am sorry. I can't even drink from my thing tonight. So that's the interesting thing. Yeah, I just have a lot of... I ate some pizza for dinner, and I've got a lot of, some gas. I guess is the easiest way to put it. And it's been having some issues talking at the same time while everything's attempting to explode out of me. So yeah. Pizza is self-care. So we're making Jumza's map. That's what we're doing. Okay, so this is going to be... and then, so all the edge is actually going to be... You're not going to let me multi-select, and I'm going to miss you more than once. I'm actually really in a good mood and excited to work on this tonight, so... I'm sorry if my attempt... So I have medicine I take for heartburn and stuff. And it's going to upset me if it's going to prevent me from doing anything. Why did the depth go... Is that how it's supposed to be? Oh, it's because everything's at 0 anyways, right? Okay. Anyway, so... What I had in mind, in my brain of brains, is to have these... right here. And then all of these. So I'm not doing this out of the kindness of my heart, Jumza. I'm doing it so I can not feel guilty when I ask you to help me with my eventing for my mod. Also, because I want to do it, because it seems very fun. It's only slightly selfish. I swear it's only slightly selfish. Okay, good. So something kind of like this. Where, probably more height, but, where you, without like a good amount of jump, because this is already 3, so you probably add another one in there, you can't get just straight to the center. So like the focus is getting to the middle of the map. Yeah, it's for Jumza. But yeah, the focus is to get to the middle of the map, right? And then again, this is all based on if we can actually have height variation. Spoiler on it. I think it's for a later chapter, so a little bit, but yeah. Okay, so, side quest, okay. It is chapter 1. I thought it was in a later one. I'm sorry. Maybe it was that was the other map we were talking about. Which I'm also willing to do, by the way. If you still need something for that one. Okay. So, back to our polygons. Yes, they literally won't spawn. They won't. You can't put.
The test is over.
Oh my god.
From this moment on, you are a Raven.
Thank you so much, Kazan. Thank you so much for the 7 months. My goodness. That's awesome. But yeah, for impassable and unselectable tiles, maybe... you can't put units on them. It just doesn't work. Like, they won't spawn, they won't move on to them, they won't do anything. So we're going to be avoiding those as much as possible. Again, this is a weird concept that Jumza pitched the map to me, and I was like, maybe. Well, we're gonna have to test it out, but I'm gonna try my damnedest to get it to work. So that's where we're at. I don't really want red, blue. I want red. Don't want blue on blue. Exactly. Yeah. So, and we're gonna test it. Yeah, it's gonna be cool as hell. I agree. So we're gonna be testing out 2 things, and then the rest of it's gonna have to be event work. So we'll just get it set up first. But the first thing we're going to be doing is all of the tiles here on the bottom are going to, like, all the mesh tiles, all of the... Come on, brain. They're all going to be the first layer, I guess is the best way to put it, is going to be water. So it'll be really easy to. I am setting the there we go. Okay, I can at least scroll up and you guys can see that. So again, this is a very quick way to do this. If you are making your own maps, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That should be 5, and there's 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And so what we will be doing, it's just so everybody can see, so we're going to be selecting all of these. We're going to hold Shift and Alt and drag on the red one, and then we're going to increase the terrain of it by 1. And then just keep on doing that. And so what that does is the UI, any changes to the UI only update that specific thing on the item. So everything else stays the same. So this will be 1010, but this will be 010 because I didn't touch the Z. So now, if we do that and then select all of these and group them, and then remove this part right here, when you walk, if the Final Fantasy Tactics units were to walk on this, now the tiles and the terrain and everything would be perfectly fine. They would be assigned to the way they're supposed to be. So it's a really nice and quick way to do that. So the second part we need to do is now we need to make the platforms. And since those are going to be animated, I need to make them in a really fun and interesting way. Yeah, that's where this gets weird. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm really hoping I'm gonna save it, but I'm really hoping I have the right map open. I don't have the right map open. That's okay. This didn't need to be a thing. Hold on, I'm gonna double check. Yeah, I have the wrong map. Okay, give me 1 second, and I will fix that. We're going to copy. I'm going to put those here. Yeah, and we could definitely do that as a much easier concept. I just kind of want to... Because then you'd have to trigger them in different ways, right? And you'd still have to adjust the terrain yourself. I mean, it more or less works out to be the same. I swear I'm doing things. I just kind of messed before I paste that. I'm going to make sure I can open Okay, cool. It's the right map. And then if I go back, that should be the original map, right? Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, cool. I forgot to reselect when I opened it up. So. Okay, I'll get rid of this in interim. Clean up my file structure a little bit. Okay, and then set. I'll pull up our handy dandy. So, okay, so I am doing it. I'm already doing it wrong. So we're gonna save, and then we need to go to map resources, and obviously, it's not obvious because you can't see it. I'm gonna hide my camera real quick. There are no mesh animations here. So we're going to add some. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm going to bring myself back. There we go. And so now we should have... Okay, so that means, Jumza, we're already off to a kind of rough start. We can't move one of these platforms. Is that okay? Maybe. Okay, cool. And I'm assuming that's the center one? Yeah. The one back. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, so in order to do an animated... Okay, the one best. Okay. You actually have to go in to... Crap. Is that because I selected something without anything? If you didn't know what happened, GDX crashed. Yeah, it looks like there's 8 maximum. Oh, it's because I think I need to add in that piece there too. So we're going to switch to here. I'm going to add a polygon. And then see if it... Okay, so now doing the same actions except with a polygon there. We're good. Okay. We'll get there, don't worry. Okay, so here's what... I don't think I have to do the rotation part, but I'm going to do it just in case. So... And what I mean by that is if you have if you're making a map, an animated thing, and it needs to rotate around the center of that object, you actually have to make it at 0, 0, 0. So because the rotation point for animations in probably both Final Fantasy Tactics and Ganesha, because it's made for the system, is around the 0 point. So it'll always rotate around someplace. I can show you an example of that. If we go to the windmill and we turn the animation off, it will actually snap to the center, this 0, 0 point on the map. So because it's supposed to be rotating around the center of itself. And the way they get it to the point on the map is by animating it to that section and animating it to that point. So, I'm gonna kind of just do that as a... I don't really know what you want to call it. What am I looking for? Looking for like the tops. The top of one? There it is, okay. Okay, that seems right. So, again, I'm making it under the first animated mesh we have here. Because each piece has to be made as its own individual animated mesh. And then what we do is we constantly animate it to the spot until we trigger it, and then what we do is we trigger the animation to go down. And that's the part that I need to experiment a little bit, is the trigger point of, can we individually trigger 4 individual animated meshes to use the same... The base texture for the other map is done, yes. I need to figure out how to do it for the main tree, but everything else was just polished stuff that I kind of wanted to move on from. I needed a fresh thing to look at, and then I'll come back to that eventually. Basically, that's where we're at. Okay, so do that there, and over here. I don't know if we're going to get like right in the middle or anything like that, but... Okay, let's see if we can do normal copy geometry stuff. Okay. And then the other thing we would do, we'll just have different platforms, right? So if we can get this thing to work, we can get anything to work. Okay, so I need to reference Garmichael's tutorial like every single time I do this portion, even though I've done it before. I'm going to save it at least, since we kind of started something. Okay, so this chooses... So this right here is for the mesh and the state. If you add one mesh to your resources, you'll still be able to change mesh to 8. The instructions will always have room for 8 meshes with 8 states, even if you don't add all 8 meshes to the resource file. Okay. ID is the frame. Each mesh state combo has 16 frames. You don't have to use them all. I got that part. And the other one is the to and the from part. So tween 2 transitions to the value. Okay, so we needed to do 2. Okay, so right now, state 1, mesh 1. We're gonna set our keyframe. I guess 10 frames, it doesn't really matter, and then the next ID is going to be 1. It's just going to continue to repeat over and over where it needs to go. It's going to be really hard because I can't move this in any direction that will allow me to see. And so we need to, between 2 and X, and between 2 a Y, and then also a Z. Okay, so Oh, and then also we need to between 1 for the scale, otherwise it's gonna just be 0. Does that do anything? Okay, it does that weird glitch at the beginning because it has like a frame before it understands that it's actually at. So let's try that with 100 here, maybe. I'm just gonna do 100 on all the. Okay, still gonna do it no matter if I start the thing. Okay. Okay, so we got keyframe ID 1, mesh 1, state 0. And so now that it's running, we can move it. Okay, so 28 is 1. And then we need to move it in this direction, 28 units. Right? Okay, so that should be there. But if we're doing it, it's actually at this point right here. So I need to do another 28, which means I'm really bad at math and I need to get my calculator out. So we're going to move it to 56. And so the reason that worked, the math-wise, is because I had it start at here. And so I can just kind of do the math to get it going. And then, if I can remember right, it was at height 3? I think it's at height 3. So that's 12 times 3. That's 36. And then if I close it, I go back to polygons. Okay, so that's in line there. Math. Okay, so there's that portion there. And then if we go to edit it again, so I need to reread this. I'm just going to read it out loud. Each mesh state combo has 16 frames. You don't have to use all of them. Next ID is the ID that will play when this frame is completed. Start percent and end percent will tell the animation how far along the animation it should start. Okay. Animated mesh will start on ID 1, which is right here. We're going to perform actions in keyframe 1 over the course of 10 frames. And when it's done, it'll play the next frame defined, which we have as 1. So it'll just basically loop over and over, moving to this position. So maybe a better example is ID 1 uses keyframe 1, and at the end it'll go to frame 3, which uses keyframe 2. After that, it'll return to ID 1 and keep looping. I'm just looking at the tutorial. So the IDs here are basically where we want the animation to go after it's done with whatever it's doing. So right now we have it looping. So as soon as it's done with the 10 frames of doing this information here, it goes back to itself. So again, looping over and over again. What we want to do, and it says that multiple meshes can use the same keyframe definition. If you have 2 wheels spinning, a keyframe for that spinning animation, both meshes can use the same keyframe. So that's what I'm banking on. These are all English words that I understand. Okay, so what's state? What's the different? Is state just a different? Again, I guess I can bring it up if I need to, but. You choose the mesh and the state. If you only add one mesh to the resource, you'll still be able to change the mesh to 8. The instructions always have room for 8, with 8 different states. So is that different animations? So I guess that's my biggest thing is I don't know if when you are playing, when you're triggering your animation, right? What I want to do is why? I wonder. Okay, so we're going to save this real quick. I'm going to take a look at the vanilla map real quick. Just so I can rewrap my brain around how this concept works. If I remember right, the windmill is 100 something? 103. Okay, so if you stop, like I said, if we stop it, it goes back to the center here. And then it does the exact same thing we just did. We tween to the position we want it on the map. And then it continues to run. So that is not a good example of what I want to do. I want the inside of the windmill. Inside. I've got lots of examples. Oh, there it is. 73. So here we have 2 and they don't do anything different. They do the same thing. But if you notice, they both reference the same keyframe 2. Oh, they don't reference the same thing because they have different stuff. So, mesh does keyframe ID 2. Because they're both set up differently. So if I were to make this like 720, now this one moves faster. So they don't reference the same spin because they're in different positions. Okay, so that makes sense there. I'm trying. I'm trying to think through it. That's the hardest part. It's because we need to have it like the foundation set up first before we can go anywhere. And if I don't have that, and I guess the other thing is we have we've got those event portions, right? I think I still have it here somewhere. Not conditionals. Is that event instructions? There we go. So, oh, what was it? Because I had it. It's the use 3D object. Okay, so if you look here, it's got the ID and then the state. So the original ones that we showed right here, these two, actually are bad examples because they're ones that are just playing in the background, right? So what we need to do is we need to find an example of something gets triggered in the map. So that's either Rio veins, like we were just taking a look at, or Lasalia. And I can't touch some of the other ones, which is Best Rodeo's house and the gate to Muron Death City. So we'll have to avoid those. Okay, so let's open 6. So this right here is actually an animation. So we stop. It's just flat animated meshes, right? Okay, so this is what we're looking for. Because this does the exact same thing that we want to do. These doors are in a set position during the entire battle at the Rio Veins gate, right? They are closed and they don't move during the battle. And then when we trigger them, they have some sort of action that then again stops, and then other stuff can continue. So if we recreate what they do here, then I think we're okay. So what we would need is what it looks like here is every mesh will have 2 states. Its first state will be the location on the map itself. And the second state is when it descends into the ground. Because on here, we just play it, right? And if we were to play... Does it let you play the second state? No. Okay, so the animation actually won't let you play it, but we can at least talk through it. Yeah, okay. So, for mesh number 1, which is, I believe, this door right here. It is, in its first state, set to the location. It's set right here. I can move it around, move it up and down, that kind of thing. And it's always static. If I move it to its second state, what it does is this first keyframe ID, is what we're looking at right here, is one keyframe. Okay. This is the part that gets really weird in my head because I get confused between the two things. But it starts with one ID in that position, and then the only thing... Okay, so keyframe 3. Okay, so moving this changes what animation you reference. So this is what I think we can reuse, but they don't. I don't understand why they don't. I don't understand why... Okay, it's because it's rotating on a different axis, right? Yes, okay, so it's negative 90 for this door to open up this way, my camera. So it's shut, and then it opens up towards, well, towards you, towards the camera, right? And then it has a different one. It has 4 because it's positive 90, where the other door goes from shut to open. We don't have that issue. Our second state is just down. So we can reuse that for every single... We're going to have 8 different meshes. How many? With 8 different keyframes. And they're all going to have 0 and 1 state. And then the second ID here is always going to reference just a down and shrink in scale. And that should be good. And we should be great. So, I guess, let's try it. So, mesh animation 1, it saves all of your information, so make sure you're very aware of that, because we are mesh 1, and we want to be in state 0, okay? So state 1 is still going to use keyframe ID 1. It's going to be there for 1, and then the next thing it's going to go to is 2, which is this. And then we are going to make... I'm going to have to keep a notepad for everything going on. But this is going to be this right here. And all we're going to do is keyframe it down. Okay, so we're going to have it... If it's different heights, we're going to need different keyframes. Or we move them all down the same amount of time, the same amount of heights. Yeah, I mean, I guess just not, it's more about like not having to reuse it and we just reference the same point every single time. But yeah, we're going to have to reference all that stuff, right? Because my biggest thing is I didn't know how events called meshes. Yeah. So if you look, when we looked at that, that actually kind of confirmed it for me. But when you look in here, it on the use 3D object thing, right? I probably passed it. Yeah, I did. So the only thing it's looking for is the mesh ID. So this will be 0, 1 through 8, right? And then the state. So when we start the map, it's going to reference all of the 0 states. And then whenever you need to change something, Jumza, you're going to call the correct mesh ID. So I'm going to start in the corner and have that one be 1. And we'll move up, like I guess. and then the state will be the second one, and then that will animate it down, and that should be it. Okay, so we are in state. Okay, so, and that will take, let's just give it like 100 frames, right? The problem is, I can't test this. Like, I know, theoretically, it will work outside, like, because it works in real veins, right? All of that stuff works in real veins. I think. So if I just mimic all of that, we should be safe, but until you have the event, I won't know if I need to change anything. Excuse me. Okay, and then here's the problem. I need to go back and look again. If you have an extra keyframe at the end, make them all rumble around before. Yeah, I'm gonna see how fun we can get. I don't know exactly what I would. How would we make the change and make it worth the mesh animation and everything like that, but where would we go with the next ID? Okay, so we are on frame ID 2, and we need to go tween by, and we need to go, because right now, if you look at it, it's up by 36, so okay, I need to reread this one more time, though. Tween by says to transition by that value. So if you were to tween by 15 units, and it starts at 36 units, it will increase that by the amount you have set. So we need to tween by -48. So what that will do is it'll put it one height below the map, as of right now. And then we would need to do... what's the percentage thing? I need to read that too. If you have... Okay, start and percent. Tell the animation how far along the animation it should start. So if you have an object that rotates 0 to 180 degrees, and you tell it to start at 25% and end at 75%, it'll start at 45 degrees and end at 135. I don't want that. I want to delay the shrink. Maybe. Because what I assumed we were doing is we were hiding the jump. Excuse me. We were hiding the sudden shift in terrain of the sprites with the effect, not the actual animation of the platforms themselves. That gets complicated. That complicates things. Okay. I don't know. Because in the example, like, it's just water now, right? That kind of thing. So I guess what I'm debating right now is I don't know when... If I only have two keyframes for our mesh animation, so it starts at the beginning part and then goes down and then scales to nothing, so it disappears, so you don't see it when you're rotating the map around. You just don't see a bunch of stuff on the bottom. I don't know if I can do that. I think this stays to 2. I'm not really sure. I don't know if I can do that and then tween 2. So this is what I think would need to be set up. That's a crazy level of polish right there, right? So right now, what's going to happen is when you call the second state, is it's going to, over 100 frames, it's going to go down by 48 units. But it's also going to shrink and scale to nothing. So as those 100, it's going to get smaller as it goes down. And if we don't want that to happen, what we have to do is have an extra one where the scaling happens, I think. Because I don't know if you can have it as like a separate piece. And that gets up to drop first and then scale. Yeah, you would have to. Yes, that one can be used by all of them, but I think that exceeds. What if we have like a wall that hides underneath? Like a huge black polygon underneath. I mean, yeah, we could do curtains. I mean, you're going to be able to see it. Like, I mean, that's an option. But we don't have to have that if I can fit in that last keyframe where it scales. Is what I'm trying to say. I think I'm out. Because I haven't landed on whether they will be a background color or not. Okay, I see what you mean there. I think we can do the scale in the animation. No, yeah, exactly. That's what I was about to say. Retro, you're one step ahead of me in the chat. So because technically there are only 1, 2, 3, there's only 4 different types of heights. We can reference those drops and then still have 4 more open, right? Which means we have 1 open for scale. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm gonna get a handy-dandy notepad out. So I can make sure I'm referencing the right pieces to the right places. And then once we have all of the stuff in place, I'm gonna load it up in game and see if it works by just having the animations running at the same time and see if it does anything. Okay, so mesh 1. Mesh 1. State 0. Well, mesh 1 uses keyframe ID 1 for position. And keyframe ID 2 for descent. Okay, so we'll just do that, and then we'll remove and remove that for now. Okay, and we'll save. And then we'll go to mesh 2. Okay, so we want to go back to mesh 1, and we want to make sure we'll do invalid for this one now. And we'll switch that ID to 10. Will be the drop. I guess this is the second height, so it would be 11. I put unknown instead of invalid. Okay. Tweet by. I'm recording it. Okay. So, mesh 1, movement ID 1, descent ID 11, or keyframe 11. Save. Animated mesh 2. Go ahead and add a polygon, because that's how we have to do this every single time. I told you it was going to be crazy. I mean, not only that, it's organized. So that way Jumza can also understand it. And it makes sense. But yeah, I told it's complicated. Like, the setup's the hardest part. It's not necessarily like a difficult process as soon as you have it all made correctly. Okay, so I think I had this as the corner here, right? And then I added the texture. Sorry, I don't actually control. I'm listening to a Rhythm in Pixels is what it's called. So, so that's the beautiful soundtrack we're listening to right now. Okay. So I need to edit. Oh god. Yeah. Everything's stacked, so it doesn't. I need to stop this. Yeah, the only thing you should have to do, I think, is just edit the event and just call it hopefully, and it should just work. Hopefully. Okay, animated mesh 2. So we are on state 0, mesh 2. It will use mesh 2. I'm going to have it go up. Bye, Retro. Thanks for stopping by and offering key pieces of wisdom like you always do. Keyframe. I do need 10 for descent. Okay. So, ID 2. I just had 10, and then next ID is 1. Between 2, between 2, between 2, 2, between 2. Have it 1, 1, 1. Okay, and then we hit play. If I did this right, hold on, I'm going to stop it. Click off those. If I did this right, I should just be able to get it to be... What is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. So should be 56. And then in the Z it's 112. Oh, nope, that's an extra one. Times 5. 140. Oh, you can't move the camera once it's in there. And then it would be up by 12. It's so weird how it like moves it and animates it in there and everything. So, okay. Did I do it 12? I think I did, but I did it by 2, so I think it's actually 24. If I want to look at that. Okay, so that should be good. If I close this and switch over to polygon. Yes, okay, so that's in line with what I had. Oh, it's because I had the depth there. Interesting, okay. Okay, so we have that. I've hit edit mesh. We want to go to state 1. Again, it should still be ID frame 2 for this, and then this should go to 2, and then this should be 10 over 100. I don't know what to do with that last ID though, because I don't want it to loop. I need to figure that part out. And that, we'll just save and we'll go look at Rio Veins real quick and see what it does for its second state. Okay, so this is that there, and then we need to move over to 10 because we have 11 defined. And here we need to tween by, and we were at 24, so we need to do negative 36. So far, so good. Lots of weird math, but we'll be able to figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save. And then I want to go ahead and close out some stuff. I want to go ahead and open up Rio Veins one more time. Which was 6. Because I want to see... Okay, so because its position stays the same and we're not adding to it, I don't have to do a tween. Okay, if I want to reuse it, I have to do a tween by. But then I need to transition into something, which would be the scale one. And then we can keep continuously scale, and then we can continuously call the scale one over and over again. Because right now if you see, it runs through the first one to get the position, to have it positioned in the right spot, and then it runs to this one to open the gate, but then it continues to run that one. But if you notice, all of the rotations are set to tween 2, so it will just stay in that spot. It'll always be rotated to that spot, just like it was always stuck in that spot when you were in the first state. So if we have the third one, where it moves on to the scaling portion, and we have that part be the tween 2, it will, and we just repeat that, it will always stay invisible. And so that will be what we ID out into.
Thank you for listening to Rhythm and Pixels Radio. We're so bad at this.
I'm really sorry that this is so complicated, and I hope visually it'll look like something in the end. And then the other thing is you guys aren't going to get a payoff because none of it will happen until you actually play on the map. So that's a thing. Okay, so we're going to go with Mesh 3. And I'll send this to you, Jumza, just so it's easier for you to reference when you're eventing. I just might not have it for a while. Okay, so this one's also going to be 11 for defense. Yeah, because as much as this stuff is notes for me, it's definitely going to be for you as well. So, okay, Mesh 3. State 0. It is going to use keyframe 3. And yeah, as soon as I think we have it all basically planned out. So I don't see anything different as long as we. Yeah, and I think. I think the eventing, like the combination of where, like, here's when I call this one, here's when I call that one, then I have to change the terrain and that kind of thing is going to be complicated. But I do think you'll be able to pull it off and it'll be really cool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add a polygon. You and me both, man. I was one of those, like, I need someone to help me with event stuff eventually, because it's gonna come out eventually, but I definitely could use the help on some of the bigger stuff that I have planned. Because I can do the easy peasy ones. I know enough about that stuff from our first event stream. I can't remember what palette I use for those. Nice. Yeah, but I do think, like, some of them, even all the help in the world, is still gonna need some assistance in creating. These are gonna be run. That's why. I'm hoping so. I'm hoping we make something. I can get something out that's really cool and fun and more than just the normal stuff. That's for sure. Okay, so now we just do our fun thing where we attempt to not override our own stuff. Okay, so we need to tween two.
System engaged.
Cat Connor, thank you very much for the follow. I hope I haven't hurt your. I hope I'm hurting my brain more than anybody else's tonight. I'm trying to deduce on how to get all this stuff to go, but thank you very much. That means a lot to me. We actually hit a pretty cool threshold of 300 followers today. So somebody did it right at the beginning of the stream, so pushed it from 299 over to 300, but now we're at 301. So that's super awesome. There's your save check, sir. Okay, so if we were at 140 here, we need to go up by 3. So 28 times 8. Not divided by 8. So 224 in the Z. Why are you not moving? Hey, Kokojo. Why are you not moving? Aha! That was weird. You are stationary. Okay, so it stops being able to do it live after 3? Oh, maybe, I don't know. That's weird. So if I stop and restart it. Interesting. 500 points to see cats. They are put away downstairs. Because for causing too much of a ruckus. What did I have the other one at? 36. Oh, that's why, because it's not repeating. Right? No. No, that was it literally just stopped showing. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so then state 1 is keyframe 3 for 1. Move into ID 2. Call ID 11 for 100 frames. And then leave off to 0. Because if you look at 11, it should go down by 48, which should bring it down here. Okay, cool. Right there. There. Oh, that's in 1. Now does it work? Nope. Ah, see? Now it works. It's because I had the wrong ID set. I didn't have it looping. Okay, cool. There's another one down. Whew, okay. And then the next one is another height. So this will be mesh 4. And that will use keyframe ID 4 for the position. And keyframe ID... It's going to have its own descent, so it'll be 12. Okay, cool. Let's move on to 4. We'll stop all of these. We'll add a polygon. Eh. There we go. Okay, and that will boop it there. It's gonna do a new one every single time. That way, at least each platform will look slightly different. Okay, so I am just noticing something. That might actually cause an issue. I will hide myself because moving it seems to be a bit more trouble than it's worth. There are no terrain data options for animated meshes. So we'll probably figure that out sooner or later, but we may have an issue here. I think I know how to fix it, but it's gonna be weird trickery. So if you look at the primary mesh, and I click on here, I can assign this mesh piece to the corresponding terrain, so when you do moves and attacks, it highlights those areas. Yeah. And if you go to animated meshes, they do not see... Okay, never mind. They have them. I guess just the way I was selecting it, I lied. This is fine. Don't worry about it. Because my brain was like, okay, well, what if we just do, like, our own stuff, but they're invisible, and then you just highlight them, or something. I don't know. But no, apparently I was not selecting something, because it's there now. For some reason, oh, I was on texture. That's why. I wasn't under the polygon tab. Classic rookie mistake. Sorry about that. So the other thing we are going to have to take into consideration is there's going to have to, for the water. Okay, so if we play the animation, these water, I go to the primary mesh, these ones right here shouldn't be highlighted if this stuff up here is still existing. And I don't know how to flip back and forth between that. Because I know the way they did it in a few of the maps was they have two on the same... They have two meshes on the same, and then the camera angles or something, they made them invisible based on a few things. That would solve it. Yeah, that would be 100% what we would do. Because then we could just have them still assigned, and when when the thing goes down, then they just walk around it like they normally would. That's exactly what we should do. For some reason, I had them like pylons with like a centerpiece and then like little overhangs, but straight up blocks is perfect. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Well, that helps out a lot, doesn't it? Okay, now that we have this one, we need to switch to it. And it is keyframe 4 for the position. 4. I've always had it for 10 for some reason. I'm just gonna repeat. I kind of love just how everything's just kind of working out. It's pretty cool. Okay. So we want to move it 28 times 4. We want to move this 112. We want to move it another one, so it's 140. And then I think this was 56, something like that. Yeah. And then if this was 24 and that was 36, this would be 48. Seems right to me. No, you're fine. I'll post like what we have by the end, and I'll do a little clip of it if it runs in game and everything like that too. So no worries. I should have all of the mesh set up by the end of stream, because it's pretty simple as soon as I get the animation stuff down. No. Yes, definitely. Okay, and so what we want to do is it's going to have its own descent. You too. You have a great night. For this one, it is going to still use 4. It's going to only last for 1 frame. And then it is going to go to ID 2. And then it is going to have 12 for 100 frames. And that is going to go down by 56? No, 60. Because if you look at 11, that's 48. So I'm going to go negative 60. Yeah. Okay, so that should be there. The middle one is actually on the primary because we do not have enough animated meshes to be able to do that. So what we will be doing is this. Okay, cool. Back to the polygons. I guess I can kind of remove that since we more or less know where everything is. Save. Okay. Then we need to switch to Mesh Animation 5. We need to stop playing them all. We need to make and add a polygon. I think I go down by one. Boop. Okay, cool. And then we go doot and doot. We grab our texture. We plop it on over to this one. Plop back over here. Go boom and boom. Okay. And then we edit mesh. Okay, so then I need to write down here mesh number 5. Keyframe ID is also 5 for position. And keyframe ID 12 for descent. So 5, direction 10, and duration loops. And we can go to 5, 22, 22, 22. Oops, 22. Get it to scale correctly. Okay, here's the big one. Oh, I got a crick in my neck. I needed to go by 5, so 140. Nope, that's in the Z. So 168. This was 140? Yes. Okay, and then it was up by 48. Yes. Okay. And then state 2 is 5, 1, 2. And it will be 12, 100. And I don't have anything set there. Okay. Got another one down, so we'll save. I guess we could, if you wanted to, if you guys were curious. So that's what it's going to look like. It's going to descend like that. So we can at least preview it. And so, like I said, what it's doing is it's just referencing the down motion. All the other positioning information is already there. So we're just referencing that specific ID that moves it down by this specific amount of height. Again, we're going to go ahead and save. Time for number 6. So we're going to go ahead and stop. I do think this is probably what, like, it's complex in its setup, but as a map, I don't see it being, like, I think the most texture work is going to be on the actual platforms itself to make them look cool. I do think overall it's going to be really cool. And we'll probably get a. We'll probably be doing another map for Jun's hack as well. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, man. Apologize. But also, I don't know if anybody has had any better time with the stream this time around. I know I was having not really issues or anything, but I did have it set to a pretty hefty quality last time. I adjusted it so it should have a wider range this time, if I was lucky. So hopefully that helps with people's internets if it's not the best, or makes it a little bit better experience, where there's no buffering or anything like that. Okay, so now we're going to add our next state. So mesh 6 is keyframe ID 6 for position, and keyframe ID 11 for descent. And so this part probably won't actually mean much or be needed for anything outside of our setup here. Hey, it's referencing this keyframe ID, and this is the one for the descent. It really technically isn't too much. It's more when you event, you would do all the normal map, all the original state of the map is just going to call the original state for every single mesh. And whenever you want to lower that specific platform, you would just call its second state. And that should lower it. It should call the animation and lower it. So hopefully that makes enough sense and is easy enough. Oh, that's too far. Okay, and then state 2 is 6 by 1 by 2 and 11. No. Yes. 11 by 100. And we don't have anything defined there. So I should probably go back and define that one. And if I am understanding it correctly, it would be 13. So if we went to 13, we went between 2, this value. They won't be floating, but as of right now they are. So they're going to be stone pillars that at any time during the fight, the event can call them, and each individual, except for the center one, will be able to lower into the water. And they can be lowered in any order. Okay. So, there. That should take care of all those. So if you wanted to see it in action, we would go to here and we would switch this to 2. And 6 is 11. 400. And 3, and 13, 1, and 3. So if we stopped... So it'll descend when called. Technically, I could leave that in there, but no reason to. So I believe the terrain gems is going to affect the terrain height via an event. So he's going to do an effect that happens when it's doing it. So he's going to have some visual fun stuff that's going to happen. I'm sure he'll find a way to make it look cool. But yeah, I do believe you'd be able to like alter it as long as you can make it look nice with the event bolts too on all sides. Exactly. And we only have 8 animations. I say only, but we have 8 animations. That's a very positive thing. So the center one will always stay its height, its current height. Because if you look, it is actually part of the primary mesh. Because when we are arranging resources, I think I just saved. I'm going to do it again before I press that button. You can only have, I'm going to hide my camera real quick, and the timer. You can only have 8 pieces right here. So we will be moving on to our last one, which is mesh number 8. Thank you. We'll go ahead and add a polygon here, and then we'll save. Once we get this one done, I'm going to see what it looks like in game. And hope for the best. And hope that it can load in 8 animations. Because if it can't, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. Technically, what Carmichael did was it saves that amount of data. Always. So there's always, if you activate animations for a map, even if there aren't 8 animations running on the map or playing on the map, there is still space dedicated to them there. If that makes any sense. Yeah, he came to me and he's like, hey, I've got 2 map ideas that I want to make. Can you help me? One of them involves more texture work than the other. So I was like, okay, give me that one then. I can save you some time or help you out with it and that kind of thing. But I also told him, technically I'm also doing it to maybe get some event help with Unexplored. So, because for the complicated stuff, I don't know if I'd ever be able to release the mod if I didn't have help or some kind of authority poking and prodding at it. So, okay, here is our last one. I need to write it down so I am organized. Mesh number 8. It's keyframe ID 8. For putting it in the position it's supposed to be. And keyframe ID, I believe it's 11 for its descent. Okay. So, we're going to move to keyframe ID there, and then there. Mesh number 8. 8 here. That was pretty fun. And I still do. When new stuff comes out, and I'm gonna stop for that kind of thing. Like, I think I'll probably, when Honored, which is Celdia's one new one, Still waiting to see Super Metroid. Funny enough, my first idea for a Twitch channel was playing Super Metroid mods because I really like Super Metroid. Obviously, that didn't go anywhere because there are a lot of Super Metroid ones, and I'm not very good at them. So, not very good at Super Metroid. 212? Why did I? Let's go to... that should be 3. 224. Hyper Metroid. If you can beat Vanilla, you can beat Hyper. Yeah, Hyper is... I took the go-to one, right? Is it 30? 46? Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm right. 3. Both there. Okay. Okay, so state 2 should be 8 for 1. And it should go to 2. And then it should be 11 for 100. And it should go to 3. Which should be 13 for 1 and loop back on itself. Because if you look at 13, it should just be scale. Okay. Stop. Play. Aha! Mesh 8 is... it's actually too far in the X. Is there also 25? It is. Okay. I was wondering what was off about it. Okay, so that primary mesh save. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go through each there's a noise. And go through each mesh. And I need to assign its terrain. So this one should be... I don't see... she fell asleep. She was super tired. So it'd be 0. That's 0, 0. That's 0 in the X and 1 in the Z. 2 in the Z, 3 in the Z. Okay, so it should be 3 in the Z. And it should be 1 over... so that should be 2 in the Z and 1 over. And this should be 1 in the Z and 1 over. So the Z's will all stay the same. You guys can't see that. I don't know. Sometimes. Oh, that's because the mesh pushes it down, so you guys can't see that portion. Okay, so it should be the same in the Z, but 2 over. Yeah, I am definitely fat fingering everything here. I gotta do all of this for all of them. That should be 3, 2. And 3, 1. Okay, and I don't know if I'll be able to test it. Yeah, because I can't click. While it's running, I can't click on anything. One, 1, 2, 1. Okay. 3. Okay. Okay. But as soon as we get all this out of the way, we shouldn't have anything to worry about. Because it'll be set and it'll be ready to go. Okay, so we want to do mesh 2. I really should have done this before I made the meshes, but what are you going to do about it? So 1, 2. She could do like. So technically it would be 5. 5 in the Z. This one's 5 in the Z. 5. 6. 7. 5. 6. 7. Okay. And it would be all of these would be 1 in the X. All of these would be 2. And all of these would be 3. Go ahead and save. Time to move over to. Okay. So it'd be 6. So this one is 8. All of these are 8 in the Z. All of you are 9. And all of you are 10. Is that right? No. Oh, I counted wrong on the last one. Because this one counts as 0. So it should be 1, 2, 3, 4 for the bottom. And then 5. And then 6. Okay, and then you go to 3. And these ones should be 7. And then 8. And the last one should be 9. Okay. And then these ones all should be 1. And a 2. And a 3. And I messed that up because I put it in the wrong spot. So 2 are at 7. 2 are at 8. 2 are at 9. Sorry, guys.
Let's go.
I made. I know you can't even see what I'm doing, which is the worst part. Trust me, it's. I guess it's kind of on the screen there. So. Okay. 3 done. Move on to 4. Okay, so 4 is right here. So that is 0, 1, 2, 3. 4 in the X. So all of these are 4 in the X. These are 5 in the X. And these are 6. And then bottom row is 1 in the Z. Second row is 2 in the Z. And the last one is 3. 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Save again. Move on to 5. Okay. 5 has the same X values, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5, 6, but different Z values. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 and 9. Six. Save. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back to 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 in the Z. X, sorry. 8 and 9. It's on the bottom, so it'll be 1 in the Z. And 2 in the Z. And 3 in the Z. Okay. It's number 6, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's the same number as last time, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is all 7s. And the X. 8s. And 9s. And it's 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5. And 6. And our last one, after we throw in one more save.
You're listening to Rhythm and Pixels Radio. You want me to say that? Yes, please. Oh, crap. We're listening to Rhythm and Pixels Radio.
Wow. Okay, and that is 7 again, right? 7, 8, 9. 7. 8. 9. But it's different here. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7, 8. And 9. Okay, so that should have them all set in the right spot. The only other thing we would need to do to finalize the actual mesh, just have all the mesh set and done, is to have the walls. Okay, I hit save. So now I want to see what it looks like if it runs in game. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I think the only thing that we need to worry about here is that these all need to come up. There we go. Okay, and I can kill this. And then the other thing was, I need to make sure that when I click texture, those are lit. However, the ones for the animation ones are not. Why did they not? They should have an option. Oh, is it because it's running? Why don't they have an option for light? Lit is lit. Because it should be right here. If I switch to animated mesh, click, it doesn't show up. Just, I guess it just assumes. Because I can still group its normals. That'll be a little bit weird. Okay. Anyway. One last save. Okay. So we're going to flip over to display capture. I don't know where it's displaying because all of my settings escaped. Apparently its size is currently 1. I don't know what happened. How about I just remove it and re-add it? I don't want it to show the whole thing, I just want it to show over here. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Okay, so we are going to... Got Jum's map here. Give that a copy. Throw it over there. One thing we need to check is on the map file here, we are technically only referencing 8 and 9. So we'll go back to custom maps. That's not what I wanted to do, but okay. We'll actually copy all of the grand hallway and replace it and go Jumza's water map. Okay, and then we're looking for updating. What file did I use? 009. Okay, and then we were just working on the Chocobo Forest. So now it's going to flip them. I don't know if you saw any of the work I just did, but it's right here. This Jum's water map. We updated to my version of the GNS, which is import map query alt 9. Here's that GNS file, and then we're referencing 8 and 9 because that's what the map is referencing. And we're replacing Mandalia Plains with our map. We already saved. Go ahead and close that out. That's there. Go ahead and run the patch. Go ahead and run... I love how everything is gigantic. Oh, man. Ah. Alright guys, like I said, all of my settings broke when I opened up my stream this time around. I'm still doing stuff for... Cancel. I'm still doing... Give me 1 second. I apologize. There we go. I'm going to click on this one now and reset this to... I literally can't make it do 100. That's just a tiny little thing in the corner. Why can't I click on it? Man, this is really annoying. Yeah, I can't click on it at all. Move up. Nope, that's not what I want. Move to top. Definitely not what I want. Okay, I will just delete and add in a new one. PFX. Hooray! Okay, it just nuked all of the scale for my entire setup from last time. It took me 25 minutes before stream to figure it out. I hope everybody spawns, because I'm not sure if they will. And I hope it so far it's loaded, so it would stop here usually if it isn't going to do anything. Lighting is definitely suspect, but... Okay, so they still have options. They just don't show up. Hold on. Zoom me through this. Okay. So we did set. Everybody was there. We did set all of the movement spaces for this stuff. So that part doesn't work. How do I get around that? I guess the better news is it loads with all 8 animations. So that's progress, at least. But you're not able to, because again these are the primary mesh, so it's able to relate to them. I'm able to do all this stuff. And then we also have the water set to the same things, because that's just how it, it's currently set. So but you at least have confirmation that you can load in 8 different meshes. If you have to, you could make the upper... Yeah, I'm not sure. I guess my biggest thing is, like, to do the animation, we need to have each one separate, and each one to be able to be individually called, so he can, at any time, lower whichever of the 8 he wants to. That was the plan. Currently, the only issue, we've got all of that taken care of. The only issue right now is it doesn't seem to render the highlights, even though the data is set on them. I mean, obviously they didn't want you walking on or on that kind of stuff in the game, so there's definitely some way around it. I just gotta figure out what it would be and how we figure out how to hide it. But anyway, I guess the biggest thing, like we said, is it loads. We have everything individually taken care of, so it should individually be able to be called and lowered with no issue. The only thing we have currently is that you can't highlight even though the data on there is set. I'm going to double check that it's there. Once again, I'll go ahead and close that. So if we click on animation 1, we stop the mesh. You can't see it, but the terrain data, it's there. Like I said, the only thing I can think of is to do some kind of I don't know. Outside of that, all the setup and everything works, and it'll be nice and beautiful, but that's a little quirky, and something we'll have to figure out. Also, the lighting is weird. There. It's a little bit better. Still flat, but we'll add pieces and things like that. But yeah, that, my friends. I guess I could set up the walls. It's just not displaying the highlights on the animated tiles. It displays them fine on the primary and everything like that, just like it's supposed to. But because they're animated meshes, I guess it doesn't have the data there or something like that. Because you were never they never intended you to be able to move and then adjust the unit at the same time, kind of thing. I guess. Or be able to walk on it before and after activation, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, I'm sure there's some kind of thing. Because even if it's on, like, even if the terrain data is, like, matched, if it's wrong, let's say, like, it should render on both. Any reference to that terrain that's highlighted by the movement of a character should render on both sides. So it shouldn't matter that this one and the one above it have the same terrain data. It should highlight and go. At least that's my experience. So, okay. I guess I can make the walls for everything. So I will go like this, and then we will rotate. Also, good evening, twin. Well, it's my evening. I'm sure it's not exactly evening where you are. That's 2. It's going to be 48. I guess we can throw out a different texture. Not quite, okay. Oh, they are. So this way. Looks like they are definitely off. UV wise. There we go. Okay. Now, boop. And boop. Oh, before I do that, I need to make sure that they have the... Oh, I think it was 255, 127. That's for walls, right? Doom, doom, doom. It is fun, kind of fun to work on. Like a complex setup, but a fun map, you know? Okay, so now we get to save and do that same thing for every single animated mesh. Okay. Okay, so 2 is 30, and then 40. Okay. And how high was this? Two. Oh, actually, hold on. I need to make sure the texture is fine before I start going crazy. Okay, so 50, 47, like this, will be 10, so let me bring it to 9. There we go. Okay, now, copy to our heart's content. Here we go, ready? Oh yeah. Okay, so we do that and hit play. That one has a platform. Okay, I'm gonna save. Mesh 2 is this one. Basically, just repeat the same steps. Just trying to get all the setup done in advance. Oh. Also, Twin, I don't know if you saw, but Carmichael released a version of GDX that exports out UV maps. So that's pretty cool. definitely will save me time. That's for sure. Okay, save that. Sorry. Oh man, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, just yet another thing that will net us a few, yeah, at least an hour or more, like, more than an hour per map, easy. Okay. Lighting is really weird on this. I wonder if it's just because, well, I haven't touched the. So I think you have to do the UVs separate. Like, if I want to do this, I would have to stop it. And then hit all of those, and then group them. And because I have to move them to where they're supposed to be, so, the way, yeah, technically, we're not actually using different map states. I don't think. I might have to use different map states. I'm not sure yet. But we have a mesh, and then the first animation is basically just putting it in position, right? So we have a different one for each mesh, a different keyframe, so a different position for each mesh. And then the second state for each mesh is putting it in position, lowering it with this, and then scaling it so it disappears. And that's the same thing for every mesh. except for 7 apparently. I just forgot to do. Yeah, and I forgot to do. My bad. 1 and 2. 7 does 10 for 100. And that goes to 3. 13. 1. Oops. So when you call an event, you can call which version of the map state it does. Not the map state, the animation state, I think. So I'm not sure if I actually need to switch states in order for that animation to activate. Because we were using Riovane's, the gate that opens and then the dead guy comes out. Or the nearly dead soldier knight crawls out. As our kind of like vanilla, here's what they did with the vanilla kind of thing. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and save this. And we are on animation 4. And if I look at that right, it is 3 height. So the reason I couldn't just do different map states with like things lowered and raised and things like that was, I mean, I probably still could if we have like the specific amount of things, but what Jumza wanted to attempt was he could lower any platform at any time and in any different combination. So with this setup, he just needs to call which animation he wants to run and which state. He needs to call the second state of whichever animation, whichever balcony or a platform he wants to have descend, and then it'll work. Which is really cool. And I'm hoping it. Like I said, the only setback that we have currently, which is obviously a pretty big one, is that the animated mesh doesn't highlight when selected. If you know the final position of the platforms at the end of the event before the battle, could you not just do a new map state with all the platforms in the correct place? It would stop the issue of the tiles not being. I apparently selected a. So I think that's the thing is. I'm not sure. I think he wants to have it set up where it's different. So there isn't like a final position. But I don't know. I'll have to talk to him since we ran into this issue. But yeah, like I said, I do think the map state thing would work if it was like a set, like, hey, now it shifts to this position every single time. But I think that right now he wanted to have the freedom to be able to. Oh, the first one I want the boss to lower is this one. Or the next time I play, the first one I want him to lower is this one. And I just have the freedom to call whichever one in whichever order. And while I believe you could probably do that with map states, I also think that you would need a fairly large amount of them. Because there are combinations, I guess. However many combinations you ran into. And you wouldn't have the animation of it, like, falling down. Maybe you would, I don't know. I think this is the same case where it's 3 again. But yeah, we'll have to, like I said, we'll have to reconvene after we ran into this portion. Because the hardest part of this was the setup to get the animations in the right spot. So if the next stage is just different map states, we just copy the mesh, edit it in each state, and then kind of go from there. Yeah. Okay, so this has 2. But yeah, editing the mesh for a animated part is definitely a slower process than if you just have one mesh by itself. Because of being limited to what you can affect, and you know, you have to set it to each at the same time. But like I said, I'm just gonna assume that the game never intended to have walkable animated walkable during battle animated meshes. So that's why they don't highlight. Like in like the Morond Death City, the gate, Ramza walks on it during the event, but you don't battle there or anything like that. And it is a state switch, I think. So I'm just kind of happy that the map loaded when I had all 8 animations running at the same time. Kind of cool that you can have 8 separate things going and they all can have multiple states. So you could probably get some really crazy stuff going on if you wanted to. Okay, well, just 2 more, and once we do that, we'll be done for the night. Actually, I need to play this so I can see where it is just 1. Yeah, conceptually, it's definitely a really cool idea, and I want to do my best to get it to work. And I think there's lots of ways to attempt it. And that it might be one of those ones where you have to work within the limitations of what we can currently do. Okay. If I play it. Okay, last one. It is too tall. Oh, I should probably... Well, I guess it doesn't really matter too much, but I have been forgetting to set the terrain data for these. But as of right now, it doesn't seem like it matters much. Okay. So that's the setup with all the walls and everything there. So the topography should work out because each one is, you know, only half tall, and they all kind of fit with each other. But yeah, that's all she wrote for now, until I can figure out the rest of it. And then we'll do like a cool texture or something for it. We'll start UVing and do that next time. So, but yeah, that's at least the mesh for the map. And I think we'll have the overflow idea with the edges, because I think that's how vanilla does it. It has the flow into the black polygon or not, or whatever. But yeah, I think it'll be super cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at if anybody else is currently streaming. Send you guys on over to them. Grayson's still playing Earthbound. We got people playing Butcher and Dragoon. Parasite Eve. Nice, he's doing a speedrun though. Lots of speedrunners. Let's take a look and see if anybody's playing our favorite Final Fantasy Tactics. It doesn't look like it, so I'll probably just throw you over to Grayson, our friend who has been playing Earthbound. So, super cool guy. If you're not following him, please go ahead and do so. And maybe we can convince him to play some Final Fantasy Tactics mods. Anyway, I will see you beautiful people on Wednesday. Thank you so much for all the support today, and I will talk to you all later. Goodbye.